Alright guys, real quick, I'm going to show you how to make a automatic chicken watering system. They do sell these now. I've been making them for a couple of years now, and they're very useful. So you don't need to use your old-fashioned watering deal that you buy at your regular tack and feed that you got to refill and check every single day and clean. This thing is going to fill up a bucket and with fresh water every single day, and it's going to feed it to your chickens through the little poultry nipples that you can get on like Amazon or your local tack and feed store. So I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like, and then we're going to build it. Okay, so here's what it looks like on the side of my coop. It's just a bucket, and then underneath you can actually see the in and out ports, and then basically it goes into the coop over here. I'll show you. Goes into the coop, and they can drink from it right here. So you can see, there it is, those little nipples they can drink their water from. And then from there it goes over to your water source, and I just have it on a timer, and it always stays on, and it turns on for 5 minutes every single day and basically refills the system. And I'll show you how that works as we build it. Mamas. Keep running away. There they are. Alright guys, this is everything that you'll need for your chicken watering system. I have a 5-gallon or 7-gallon food grade bucket with a lid. Don't have the lid right now, but you get the point. We got our toilet valve right here. You can see that. It's a regular toilet float valve. You can get them at any store. I got the connection that goes from the valve to our plumbing, which goes to the chickens. So I'll show you how that works. You just want to make sure all your sizes line up. I got a 1/2 inch to 3/4, because the end of this is 1/2 inch. And then I got 1 3/4 thread to 3/4 slip, and 1 3/4 female thread to 3/4 slip, pipe thread, tape, and I have a 1 inch or 25 millimeter bit that I'm going to drill the holes for your system. So I'm going to show you guys how it works in a sec. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is open this thing up and see what we got in the box. Directions, box, don't need. Little parts. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, this stuff's trash. So I'm going to basically show you guys how this is going to work. This is going to get installed inside of your bucket, and what happens is, let's say we're looking through the bucket right now. It sits like this inside the bucket. When the water fills up, it's going to turn on from the timer like you saw. It's going to fill up and start down this way. It's going to fill up and turn it off. And then from there, your water's going to be full. It's going to gravity feed out of the other side to your poultry nipples, or however you want to let it go to your chickens. So I'm going to show you guys how we build that right now. Alright, so then you're going to take the bottom of your float valve, and you're going to make sure that your drill bit is just a hair bigger than the actual threads. Just a hair. About 1/16 of an inch or less. So I already pre-measured it all. It all works. Every single float valve is going to be different, so if you get the same exact one I have, you can reference the sizes to this video. So we're going to drill some holes left and right side, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, now that I have my hole drilled, I'm going to go ahead and check this and make sure it fits, which it does perfectly. Obviously it's going to go on the inside, and you want to sand out where you cut your hole, because you can see it's got lots of little frizzies on it, so you want to make sure it's a nice tight fit. What we're going to do next is push it through the bottom, like so. You can see that it's sitting in there now. I'm going to flip it over, holding it in place. We're going to put the rubber seal that came with it on here. And then, as soon as that's in, nice and tight, you can put on the little nut that it comes with and tighten it down so it's watertight. Okay, so now you can see there it is. It's on there. The inside is that's what it looks like. You can see the float in there, ready to go. So now I'm going to flip it over and drill one more hole. That is going to fit this, and you're going to place it right next to the other one. Pretty quick. I'm going to put some thread tape on this and go ahead and screw it in there, and then use some silicone around the edge on the other side when I put it back together. Okay, so now if you look very carefully, if you guys can see, there's the out port that's right here where my finger is. That's where the water is going to go out to your chickens. I think I said it the other way around earlier. But it goes out here and then in to the float, which is right here. So you can see what the bottom looks like. In fresh water, the bucket is going to fill up to the level and stop, and then as the chickens drink it, this side over here, the water will drop, and then every day or every other day, however often and how many, it depends on how many chickens you have as well, how often this thing needs to refill. I have it set once a day for 5 minutes it turns on, and what's nice is if that fails or something breaks, let's say the float gets stuck down and this starts to overflow, what's really nice is the timer will turn off in 5 minutes. So if you're gone on vacation, you're not just running water constantly. That's why I did the float valve on this. I've seen other people that just have the timer into a bucket, and if it gets stuck or something, you know, I would much rather have 2 parts of safety to it. So you can use these if you want. They just connect in the inside and clip. I just leave it. You really don't need it. And then next, this is going to get connected to the bottom with some tape right here. It just screws on. This is the toilet side, and it is 7/8 to 1/2 inch pipe. So what I did was I went 1/2 inch to 3/4, and then this 3/4 pipe runs over to your wall, your hose, whatever you want to do. You could hard pipe it, whatever type of timer you have. This goes to the timer. So the timer turns on, water goes into the float valve, it fills up, and as the chickens drink out of this side, with your poultry nipples, let's say they're right here or they're way down the way, it doesn't matter. You know, they'll drink out of it and the level will drop, and then it will refill the next day. And what's nice about this bucket system too is you can add in like organic vinegar if you need to for your chickens. Sometimes I'll put diatomaceous earth in there. If you give them antibiotics, which I don't give my chickens anything, they just get vinegar or diatomaceous earth, that's it. You can add it in the water as well. You look real carefully, this is kind of similar to what that system does, but this is a big version. I have a float valve in my aquaponics setup, and it just turned on with the timer, and it's filling up the system until it's going to turn off. So you can see as this lifts, like it would do in your bucket, it shuts off. And if for some reason it gets stuck down, the timer over here on the wall will shut it off. I hooked mine up to a sprinkler timer and a sprinkler valve, which is over here, which is a lot more hardy than the little timer like I got outside for the chicken coop. So you can see once it's full, it's going to shut off. And that's what it's going to do inside your chicken water. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Any questions, comments, suggestions, please put them below. Subscribe on the left hand side, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers.